Caroline Glick, the former assistant foreign policy advisor to Prime Minister Netanyahu and a former member of Israel's negotiating team with the Palestine Liberation Organization. She's also the host of the Caroline Glick Show. Caroline, it's a pleasure to have you. We spoke on October 7th. I remember during our breaking live coverage that night, and it was unfathomable. And today, to see where we are, to hear those words from Kamala Harris, I want to play an extended clip and get you to react after that.
Do we have a real close ally in Prime Minister Netanyahu?
I think, with all due respect, the better question is, do we have an important alliance between the American people and the Israeli people? And the answer to that question is yes.
How do you think she was coached on that one?
I think she was heavily coached on that one, and I think that whoever coached her should be fired, because he apparently is unaware of the fact that when democracies are allies, that whomever the people choose is the representative of the people. So that if you have an ally that is a democracy, and then their leader is your ally, because he represents the people that you say that you're allied with. She just talked about Israel as if it's an autocracy.
Yeah.
But Prime Minister Netanyahu represents the people of Israel because we elected him. And, you know, we just did a poll at Jewish News Syndicate, where I work as senior contributing editor, a week and a half ago, and it found that he now enjoys the support of 54% of the public, which is more than both of his closest rivals combined. So that he has, I think right now he's more popular than he's been at any time during his long career at the helm of Israeli politics. And yet here she is pretending that he doesn't represent the Israeli people, who are the ally of the United States.
I can see why. He was speaking at the UN, and at the same time, just hours later, we'd learned they had taken out Nasrallah. Very powerful move there. We were pleased to have former ambassador to Israel, David Friedman, on the show the past hour. I do want to play his reaction to the Biden-Harris administration's relationship with our biggest ally.
America has failed Israel. They've failed the Jewish people. This war should have been over by now. Iran should never be where they are. The Houthis, imagine, the Biden administration took the Houthis off of the foreign terrorist organization watch list. Is there any entity in the world which is more of a foreign terrorist than the Houthis?
No, and Kamala Harris wants Lebanon $157 million in additional assistance. She put that tweet out. Here we are. It should have been over, Friedman says, but it's not. Ambassador Friedman is right. In fact, we're on the precipice of war, full-out war with Iran here with the Middle East, and Israel's going at it alone, many say.
You know, George Orwell once quipped that the quickest way to end a war is to lose it. But in our case, the quickest way to end a war is for Israel to win it. Because when Israel doesn't win, then we have this drip, drip, drip of aggression against Israel, of terrorism, of rockets, of missiles being shot at Israel, until they feel that they have enough power to go in and attack us in a much more major way. And each time that we've had sort of a wave like this, the wave has gotten bigger and bigger until we arrived at October 7th. And so if we reach some sort of a ceasefire that leaves Hamas intact in any way, shape, or form, then it's not just Hamas that's going to attack us, because this isn't a war between Israel and Hamas. This is an Iranian war against Israel that it's fighting both directly through its ballistic missile strikes that they've already shot twice at Israel, a total of over 400 projectiles that they've shot at Israel from Iran, but also through its proxies, through Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, the militias in Iraq and in Syria, and the Palestinians in Judea and Samaria. So this is a seven-front war that Israel is fighting, and it's all directed by Iran. And if we don't win, it's just going to keep going on. It's going to go on and on and on. And what's shocking, really, is not that we're in this position, but that we're in this position alone, where everybody, led by the United States, is either vilifying us or demanding that we accept a ceasefire, which will be a strategic calamity for the country. It's shocking, but it is what it is.
We hear it over and over again. No other country would ever be told to do this. If this was the United States, why would Israel be told to do this? A bit of breaking details. Israel's military saying it'll launch operations on Lebanon's southern coast, telling residents stay off the beaches there. The statement did not specify what operations would be carried out. But I just also want to get your reaction to Tim Walz, who did an interview over the weekend. Not only was it Kamala with those statements here, her running mate also tries to say all of this is Donald Trump's fault. It's almost like these people do not understand foreign policy. They certainly don't seem to understand Iran. And he says President Trump tore up the nuclear deal that moved Iran closer to a nuclear weapon. Waltz had the nerve to say this. He allowed Iran to shoot down an American aircraft in international airspace with a tweet. This after billions of dollars in sanctions were unfrozen for Iran to be enriched. The fact that he would say something like that, does he not actually understand what he's saying, or is he just simply lying, Caroline?
I really can't. I can't judge what it is that's motivating him to speak such nonsensical statements. But the fact of the matter is that they always say that the Iranian nuclear program was in a box during the course of the nuclear deal, and that's simply not the case. Iran breached that deal. They continue to stockpile uranium well beyond what it was permitted to have under the deal that Obama signed with them. They also continued with their R&D and nuclear isotopes, and they upgraded all of their enrichment facilities so that they were able to move very quickly from sort of being in sort of honoring the agreement to being in total breach of the agreement. So it wasn't true. They were preparing the next step. They looked at the agreement as a way to get ahead in their know-how and in their capabilities, so that when they were ready to go to the next phase of their nuclear enrichment program, they just left the agreement, and that's exactly what ended up happening. So that they failed to understand, or they refused to understand, how Iran used this agreement as an instrument to enable it to advance its nuclear capabilities in a systematic way, with absolutely no American intervention and without any economic sanctions being applied to Iran during the course of this.
No, to normalize it, to try and make it look like they were going forward in some diplomatic treaty there. And it's amazing what billions of dollars can do to a terrorist regime, too. Caroline Glick, a pleasure to have you today. I always appreciate your thoughtful analysis. Come back real soon, please.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.